Today is June 15th. The Yankees played a two-game set against the Mets. They won one game. They lost another game. We will discuss both games. Let's do it. Let's talk some Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, episode number 920. Is that what that says? 920, brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek has over 28 million downloads, the SeatGeek app, and it's the number one rated ticketing app. So it's not, small hall business. There's no small sample size there. There are over more than 70,000 events every single day on SeatGeek, including sports, concerts, festivals, and more. And we've got the hookup for you. If you use code YANKS, you get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. $20 off your first purchase with promo code YANKS. Click the link in the description to download the app. It was only a two-game set, and they split it. So Jake and I are usually out on two-game interleague split series. Say, boom, move on. But from a Yankees point of view, I think there's a ton of things that happened. You had good pitching performing, bad pitching performance, had guys kind of like break out of slumps a little bit, do stuff they haven't done. With Steal of Home, Jake, spoiler. We had the Chicken Parm boys saving someone's whole career, and a lot of bullpen discussions to talk about. Which one do you want to start with, Jake?
James Davis, what's going on? A little morning edition. Thank you, everyone. The old men were tired, worn out. A little rain delay, too. It just wasn't happening.
I fell asleep after Rizzo got hit by the pitch. That's my last memory. I was on the couch, trying my hard to stay awake.
Yeah.
I woke up at 1 a.m., moved to the bed, kind of crawled because I'm in so much pain these days, and then woke up and I watched the game this morning.
So, thank you, guys. It was good to see some high-level baseball. I mean, a couple, teams going for the World Series right now.
Juggernauts.
I do want to, we've started doing we want to do more mental check-ins because we had one clip that we were like, oh, that's really cool. We should do that more. The Yankees and the Mets, they link up again for the next part of the Subway Series. I want to say it was July 26th or something like that. And I very much want to see how both teams feel then, because the Mets' whole season has been a slog. They've had some injuries. They now have more injuries. And they have just never gotten going. They've never had like that win streak, a few games above 500. They just haven't felt that all year, which is kind of crazy. Like, think about who the Mets were in like this offseason and these past couple off seasons. So pretty crazy to watch, and they're not playing a pretty brand of baseball. And the Yankees on the other side, I mean, that Glaber boots the double, or what could have been a double play ball, and then somehow a ball hits his foot, and then it hits Rizzo's foot, and the ball's getting thrown away, and it's like, well, what am I watching right now? So, and then we saw the Yankees in the second game. They are very much in a mindset of June is going to be a 500 month. Let's get guys healthy. Let's get Judge back for July, maybe. And almost the 2017 Yankees approach of, hey, we might have some 500 months, but our killer months are going to be good because, they could have used a couple of those bullpen arms last night. And
it's definitely last night. I really want to dive in.
Not to.
I want to dive into that after the game to burn.
Yeah.
Not now. Some housekeeping. We did have the clip of the year so far.
Viral clip of the year.
It's in contention.
In the company.
We're leading the whole company. Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, every other show needs to kind of submit because we're top of the leaderboard right now.
Top of the heap.
Boone's camera revealing he was sitting Indian style, crisscross applesauce, whatever.
Guardian style.
Guardian style. That's so funny. I didn't realize it was that funny. I mean, I knew we all kind of said it.
We laughed at the time and right after.
Jim, sometimes.
But, like, I was too busy to focus on BBD's reaction.
Sometimes the internet is tough. There's times when we post stuff and you're like, oh, my God, the comment section went there. The comment section
Oh, so funny.
Round of applause. I mean, perfect game. It was Wells. It was Coney. It was beautiful. Like,
No,
just,
I checked the YouTube to see if people had timestamped it, but the YouTube comments weren't really talking about it. So
they were lost,
little.
or, intense in the Boone interview. It's one of those times. I know you've had some struggles with Instagram over the year, but it's where Instagram won for a day. Like,
oh, is there good comments there?
oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
the one
because on
place
the
I didn't
main
really
comment.
look.
Yes, I did see those.
And they're like, it was maybe the happiest engagement like for myself I've personally had, because you see like, there's a dog that's caged up. It's like, no way. No way did that just auto zoom out to you sitting Guardian style, excuse me. And yeah, like, you could, like, all the thoughts running through all of our heads at the same time. That was
we were
hilarious.
I was having a good chat with the sales team about it as Jimmy's jersey falls behind him.
That was gonna happen. That
was
tape
gonna
stinks.
happen. It's bad tape, and they were very excited looking at your face specifically, Jake, because like 15 things happen in what is in real life about 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's just
it's really good, and it's all the way down now. That's
but viral clip of the year.
viral clip of the year. Proud of the comment section, because there's people who could have sucked way more about it, and that didn't really happen.
And I think it's
comments usually go there.
And I think it's just a beautiful thing that it's like, wow, it's John Boy Media guys talking Yanks. They're gonna interview Aaron Boone. This is kind of serious. Like, we had,
It was a serious moment too.
Some serious people were like, you guys kind of can't like screw this one up.
It was in the middle of me telling him what he just said was wrong.
It's like the most serious, like, contentious conversation of the app.
So funny.
So that's good. I guess something that's kind of off the board but on the board, Bader rehab game, and he's going up to Boston, so we'll see him.
With Rodon, right? Well, no. Rodon is throwing in Somerset?
He's throwing, and our guy Brian Hoke.
He's not going to Boston, I know that, but he's starting to actually throw in rehab games.
So he's throwing to minor leaguers, and then the knock on wood update is that, in theory, if that goes swimmingly, like an actual rehab game would be happening, which credit to Brian Hoke, because I'm going to half report this from him. He did like, okay, so let's say if it's 3 starts, which would be 5 days from now. It would give him a chance to get pretty much 1 start in before the All-Star game if things go swimmingly.
I wouldn't count on that. Why would
nobody is? And
I know,
Brian
but
Hoke isn't either.
I'm not even trying to say it like that. I'm trying to say I bet the Yankees are saying, let's do first start after the break, and they're building their calendar backwards. We might be at that point where, like, let's not even rush you. Let's.
It could be the other
concept.
The other concept of it would be is that the Yankees, and especially we're seeing, with Sevy and some of his struggles, that if they could get 1 start before the All-Star break, they also might want that data point, and you can get him extra rest, like, into his 2nd start. Yeah. So it's one of those things that we don't actually know any of the Yankees' mindset on anything like that. And by the way, it's because they don't, and they just kind of make it up as they go, just like everyone else in life. That was everything goes swimmingly as well. So, but yeah.
So wait, they're sending him to just pitch against the minor league hitters?
So I think he had like a full minor league sim game that's like more intense than what he's been doing, because the major league guys, and he's pegging Willie Calhoun every chance he gets.
Well, that's what he said. So it says Yankees pitchers Rodon and Hamilton, which I missed Hamilton this weekend, will face hitters tomorrow in Somerset, tomorrow being today. And Rodon's quote is, the velocity was there after throwing on the mound to Calhoun and them. Felt good. I just feel like I can get more work out of facing an opponent instead of people on my own team. So he wants in on games, but...
So, yeah, I think today they're going to mess up the Somerset guys, and, before they get in the box, they're like, hey, fellas, take some aggressive swings.
Yeah.
And then, hopefully we can start dreaming of a timeline, and we'll get some real and not real answers on that. And again, everything going smooth. But yeah, I don't know. We can almost get to the point where we can start dreaming of a potential second half Rodon. That again, if you go back to some of the preseason stuff and maybe go listen to our player profile and projection, like this is a guy that the past couple years has been as good as Garrett Cole and was the Yankees like change this year, and we haven't felt that at all yet. So let's get there.
Let's get there. And Bader's playing in Boston.
Bader will be in Boston, and he only had one rehab game, so expect him to be on the Yankees rehabbing while active.
Yeah.
He'll sit Saturday.
Yeah, groin strains. That's what he had, correct? It's a strain when it's the groin? Groin pull?
Was he groin or hamstring?
I think it's ham.
Yeah, Hamilton's groin.
Is a
Hamilton's groin?
Tweak. There's a light hamstring strain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was...
Hamilton was groin.
Oh. But he suffered his while running the first?
Yes.
So I was going to say he might, that sprint out of the box to the bag, maybe if you see Bader taking that lighter, I would get that. That's like court ordered.
I mean, look, again, we'll get to the bullpen in a second. Like, yes, June is a rehab month for the Yankees.
Survival's the goal.
Survival's the goal. All right, you want to get into games 1 and 2? We got a lot of shit happened in just 2 games.
A lot of
shit, in my opinion.
Oh my God!
And that's all I have, is my opinion.
It is. If you saw, I got a smirk during the intro, and I showed you guys Joe's McFly was calling me.
Yeah.
And I hit the auto reply. Can I call you back? So I'm pretty happy with that because that just messes with him.
Can I call you back?
And this show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Oh, they're here. Tell them to just come in.
It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else needs from you and never take a moment to think and take care of yourself. And, man, you got to take care of your mentals. It's like the most important thing. Like, as a society, we've kind of figured that out. Therapy can give you the tools to find more balance in your life so you can keep supporting others without leaving yourself behind. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. Convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time with no additional charge. Visit BetterHelp.com/Yanks today to get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp.com/Yanks today. And there's a link in the description. Go check out BetterHelp.
Game 1 in Queens.
Subway Series, we are back. Mad Max would try to start his Fury Road against the Yankees, while Sevy would hope to not make Yankees fans furious. Top 1, hit the music. Giancarlo, let the rhythm take you over. Giancarlo, te quiero. Mets homers. God, he kills them, and I like that. 1-0 Yanks, but bottom 1, Finding Nemo. He answers the call. Solo homer of his own, and then Master Beatty gives them the lead with his RBI single. It's 2-1 Metropolitans. Make it 5. McNeil, Canna, Sevy struggling again. Defense not giving a ton of help, but it hasn't been pretty for Luis as we go on. But Jim, these Yankees might have a rally in their bones. DJ 26, he goes deep fly. Okay, like that, it's 5-3. 5-4, Volpe. Oh, new stance, Jim. You seen this one? Little chicken parm. 5-4, and then Jake rakes. Bauers gives the Yankees the 6-5 lead. All this action in 4 innings. Guillorme, God bless you. RBI single at 6-6. Sevy, ugly line on the day yet again. 4.25 earned runs. In the 6th, Donaldson. Joe's McFly, that sac fly is underrated. And guess what? Probably so has been the Yankees bullpen this year, because they pick it up the rest of the way. Sevy to Ron to Jimmy to Tommy to Wandy to Clay to Michael, the King. Yankees win 7-6 final in a dramatic Subway Series game. K's words, not mine.
Ooh, it was a good game. I liked it. There was a lot going on. There's things I didn't like. I guess in a good game that has you kind of invested, you're going to have things you like and don't like.
Right.
If you like everything, that's probably a rout.
Yanks were down 5-1 at one point in this game.
Yeah. And Sevy gave him another not great start.
Yes.
There's a lot of individual stuff to talk about that I think will be covered in awards because there's only 2 games to do awards from. Bullpen, we used a lot. I still don't think you need to go to Cordero for one. Wandy struggled, which led to needing to use more arms than you wanted. They used King in the big spot, or used Clay in the big spot, and then King gets the save and all that. That's I'm fine with that. And then lineup wise, they pinch hit Donaldson for Bauer, who had a hit and 2 RBIs. Donaldson comes through with the RBI. And then Oswaldo goes to right field wearing his grandma's tooth.
Yeah. Got a little toothy out there. People have been asking me if I have any tooth access. I don't know. I'm open to a tooth necklace, but I don't know if
have people send in their teeth. We'll just if you have a tooth lying around, send it in, especially if it's an elderly's.
If you have any old teeth, contact BBD.
The older the better. My DMs are open.
Give you his apartment. Yeah, hey, I felt all the emotions of baseball in this one. I was furious with the Yankees during the kick ball inning, and I was like, how can we keep doing this? And there's a couple different times in this series that you look at the outfield lineup, and you're like, holy crap, dude, we're going to look back in a year and a half and be shocked to see what was out there. But I don't know. At the same time, obviously this is the Billy McKinney fan club, Heartthrob IKF and all that. That Yanks came back. They hit Scherzer, which they've been struggling with starting pitching, and Scherzer's also struggling right now himself. But
yeah, they were actually. I know Stanton and I think DJ hit the curve.
DJ did,
and Stan did. Yeah, it was a hanger. But it was a first inning homer from Stanton, which you kind of needed. I know that. Then Sevy blows it, and you're like, well, okay, shit. Right. But at the time, I was like, good. Like, with Judge out, like, let's start doing some stuff. And my overall takeaway from the offense after these 2 is that with Judge out, and it could be a Mets effect, who knows? Because the Mets fans in my replies told me I can't be excited about anything that happens in this series because it's just the Mets. I've never seen that strategy done by a fan base more than down. The Mets. They're down. But no Judge offense. They actually, in game 1 at least, did some stuff that I'm like, all right, if you can keep doing this, especially when Judge and Bader come back, then we're rolling. So it was a little positive.
Yeah, I mean, that whenever you see a DJ homer, especially like the pulled cool DJ homer, like we obviously love when he finds the porch because that's kind of the advantage of when they brought DJ in and what they thought would work. But yeah, and I don't know. DJ had an interesting series because he had a couple series recently where his good swings had bad results. And I think even in this series, that was obviously a good swing, but even the double in game 2, I don't think that was one of his better hit balls, but it was perfectly down the line. That I don't know, man. You look back in the past couple years when the Yankees have had their most success, and DJ LeMahieu's been a big part of that. I mean, go back to early middle last season when they were rolling. Like, DJ was setting the table beautifully. And obviously, young Anthony that we'll talk about in a little bit, I'm sure. But
yeah. Outfield got a lot of action in this game for the Yankees.
My outfield.
Yeah. Bauers is very interesting conversation defensively. Maybe we save that. I don't know if it's an award or not, but I kind of is.
Okay. Teaser.
Yeah.
What theme did you go with this week? I'm forgetting. I have a little bit of a skinematic theme.
Porn?
What did I say?
I don't know. They said skin flicks.
The thing I told you guys before the show, you still don't want that to happen?
Don't want that to happen. I mean, if Joe's comes in here because he's at the warehouse, then yeah, you can let one rip as he enters. But that's all.
Yeah, do it there. Punish him.
Must be the altitude.
I don't have a theme yet. Maybe I'll pop open the YouTube chat, and if they want to give me a theme, be it songs, movies, energy, by the time we get to regular old awards, I'll pivot to a theme if I see a good one in the chat. So that's happening. I'm opening up the YouTube live chat, and I'm counting on them. Some themes if they want to come my way.
Send me my way.
All right, let's go to game. Any other big moments in this game? I don't even know. The Glaber one.
Yeah.
And then Volpe throwing it away. It was just really defeating. Some people texted or tweeted like I turned it off or like I stopped actively watching. And my mom told me that. She's like, I couldn't. I tuned back in every now and then when they were coming back, but I wasn't going to give him my night.
We said this a lot with Gio Urshela, and maybe it was unfair. Maybe we were too biased because he was too cute. But when Gio had errors, it never felt like it was in the moment. Like it was like, Gio plays a clean, fun third base, and it was like, yeah, he gets errors. So does everyone that plays baseball. But it always felt like it was, the Yankees were already losing one, or they were up 6-1, and there's 2 outs in the inning, and you're just like, oh, Gio. What the hell was that? To have a starting pitcher on the mound that is struggling, that is like fighting for his life out there, like pitch to pitch, and you get the 2 ball, like that's insanity. That to not get leather on it,
yeah,
like that's insanity. So,
I agree. Game number 2.
Yes.
Cole versus Verlander.
Did you see this?
Ex-teammates?
I noted that.
Did you?
Yeah.
I spoiled it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Friends turned enemies as Garrett Cole tried to get redemption from his stolen Cy Young by Astros teammate Justin Verlander. Oh, it's nasty in Queens, and good pitching too. Like my college days, we're scoreless through all 4, and just like college, a little Olive Garden, Jim. When you're here, you're family. Tommy Pham, RBI double to give the Mets the 1-0 lead. But, Jim, I said it before, Jake rakes Bauers. We got to talk about this guy. RBI single to tie it up at 1s. In the 7th, the Mets give us a little bit of a freebie. The ball trickles by Vientos. That's fun to say. Donaldson scores. It's 2-1 Yankees. IKF SBB. What's the B? Boner. Steals home. Are you kidding me? The Hawaiian heartthrob is stealing our hearts, and the Yankees have a 3-1 lead late, but oh no. Nimmo, hit by pitch, scores a run. Marte single. We are tied up at 3s. It's probably going to get uglier, but Nimmo kind of gets thrown out at second. We'll talk about that. Buenos Cantos. And that's all she wrote for the Yankees. Mets win Manfred Ball as the Yanks are afraid to use a lot of their bullpen and split the Subway Series 4-3 final. Ripper.
Yeah, bummer of a game. Because the fun, exciting stuff was fun and exciting, but the Mets handed them that inning. Like, really handed them that inning. And then the Yankees bullpen stuff is... Can we deep dive the bullpen right now? Like, the usage situation and all that?
I think so.
So, if you look at the Yankees' usage, right?
Yes.
And the game before, a lot of guys had to pitch, as noted. But Monday was an off day. So, you're not running into any of the 2 in a row, right?
Yes.
So, these are the rules the Yankees kind of have. They're not going to use a guy 3 games in a row. Not doing that.
Yes.
They're not going to use pitchers 3 out of 4. They really don't like to do that.
Yeah.
So even with the off day Monday, Sunday still comes into account. So if they pitch Tuesday and Sunday, that's 2 out of 3. Then if they also pitch Wednesday, that's 3 out of 4. They'll do that. They'll break that sometimes, but they don't like to. And then
3 days in a row, they straight will not
break. I think they broke it once in the whole history of us.
3 out of 4
show.
though. Yeah.
And then if the guy throws 30 pitches, he's not going to go the next day. That rule they're pretty strict about for most of the guys. So on game 1, you had Clay Holmes through 16. I don't know why he wasn't available the next day. That's kind of the big one. He's looked sharp. He did
He's the 3 out of 4, right?
You're right. Yeah. He pitched Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, so that's 3 out of 4. But it was only 9 Sunday. I think we could have broken it with him because you have an off day after Wednesday. Today, the Thursday is an off day, knowing that's coming up. King, he is an interesting one because they haven't used him back-to-back yet. They haven't broken that seal. And he only threw 9 on game 1, got the save. So he is also, if they wanted to bend the rule, really wanted to go after the win here, King could have been available. Wandy, he threw 3 out of 4. He threw Saturday, Sunday, off day Monday, and then threw Tuesday. And he looked a little rough on Tuesday's game. And he's pitched so much. Right. I'm okay with them saying, like, we need to give Wandy a little bit of a breather. I'm okay with that. Ron Marinaccio, he goes twice in a row after we just tried to let the Yankees know he's not a 1-day, 0-day rest guy. He actually needs more rest.
He likes rest.
And they went to him in the biggest spot. And I think going to him in a big spot there was really foolish when you have Canely available. I didn't know Canely was available. Canely does his first back-to-back outing of the season since returning from the IL. And they're both the same. They're change-up to lefties guys. And Canely's looked damn good. I'm really excited. So that's my one thing is I would have gone Canely before Ron in that big moment. Abreu pitched. He actually looked really sharp. So
yeah, there's
and Cordero goes back to back, and Cordero's making me want Hamilton back a little bit.
There's a lot of moving parts here because we're heading into a weekend series with Boston that I think the Yankees are going to take more seriously than last weekend because the doubleheader just kind of ruined where they're at bullpen and rest-wise, which, again, we just walked through it a little bit. I think for me, there's part of me that gets it, and I hope there's dividends this weekend. And, hey, if I'm sitting here Sunday and the Yankees lost another series to the Red Sox, those dividends do not pay off. They do have to think about more than winning every game every day right now, which, hey, don't get me wrong, part of my soul hates, and I think it's part of it's one of the things that's kind of wrong with the organization, but there can be another side to it. If you're going to do this, you need to maintain a lead as long as you can, and then hopefully your offense can stretch it out. So I think you're right. I think in that situation, you should go to Canely first, get those outs, put your best foot forward, and then hopefully, the offense can either stretch out the lead to give a reliever more cushion, or, you in an important moment of the game, you went for it, then you have to go to Ron or whatever it is, and if he gets hit then, that's what it was. Like, then you ran out of bullpen arms, and it was the situation. King's really interesting because if you're not going to break that back-to-back seal, this seemed like the one because he had 9 pitches the day before, and there's an off day the next day. Again, I hope Mike King, maybe he pitches in 2 of the Boston games, and we say, hey, that was kind of worth it. But also, the Yankees won the first game. It's technically like a road trip. We know how the Yankees think. They were gearing up for Boston, and it sucks. And I guess the other kicker there is if you're so worried about if you're going to do this, and part of me gets it, part of me does not. Albert Abreu, who looks, has one of his best appearances of the Yankee. He gives a yell coming off the mound with the final strikeout. He comes back out. He gets another strikeout. If Albert Abreu looks good, which some of my internal thoughts about Albert Abreu, I felt bad. I was going deep into his game logs and stuff. I was like, why should I like him more? Should I like him less? Like, I've just never felt confident in Albert Abreu. Like, there's been times when we've seen Ron Marinaccio, and you're like, ooh, that's gross. Like, go get him, Ron. Go to work. Albert, it always feels like you kind of survived, and you're like, yeah, that was a 100-mile-per-hour sinker, I guess. Albert Abreu looked kind of nice. And that final pull to bring in your boy Nick Ramirez, Nimmo's been better versus lefties this year. So you have to, whatever Yankee numbers you're running, which I think Ramirez has been good versus lefties, so they're going to play their guy's strength over Brandon Nimmo, who just got $100+ million
Don't look
contract.
at Ramirez's splits and make decisions.
That's a great point. That if you're being conservative with the other guys and you don't want to burn them out, and I get that, and I hope that pays off come the end of the year. If Abreu looks good, run him out there. Burn him out.
Can I explain a little theory to you about Abreu?
Sure.
If you want to figure out how to feel about him.
Okay.
He's a little bit of what Ron's got going on. They don't pitch back-to-back in the minor leagues. He's not prepared for that. I don't think he's, you got to find some reliever, and we've talked to relievers about this, or you hear them discuss it on shows, and how to be a back-to-back guy, how to take care of your body, how to prep, how to feel good days of. His splits, 1 day rest, 2 day rest, are not great. Now, his 1 day rest is really bad. His 2 day is not good. 3 through 3+, 0 runs allowed. Like, that's when he looks dialed. That fastball's there. So, and he's going back-to-back here, and Ron's going back-to-back here? Or no, Abreu didn't go back-to-back.
Abreu didn't. Ron does.
No, Abreu looked great because he was on, 4 days rest.
Ron, and, people have heard the emotional roller coaster I've been with him because, again, there's kind of the wipeout changeup days, and I kind of like the non-emotion. It kind of weirds me out sometimes.
Oh, my God. Or you like the vampire scream?
He's out there throwing 91-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Yeah, and no, he
back-to-back days, and we've got
ready.
numbers on this, and that's, there is part of me that, I thought there was kind of a beauty to Ron Marinaccio. By the way, in 3 of his, I think 3 of his last outings, he had fly balls that went to the fence that if, the wind's blowing a different direction that day, we're not having nice thoughts about Ron Marinaccio. And if you can't pick back-to-back days, what's currently going on with our bullpen, you either have to full Kinger him or, put him on the IL and rest his shoulder because he clearly hasn't been built up for this kind of workload.
Yeah.
Which, you're saying, that's not necessarily, Ron's fault. It could be a Yankee organizational
prepping for division
flaw.
games in Boston is a decent thought process that I didn't have until you said it. Because I was just seeing the double off days. I wasn't seeing the next series in my head. But I still think there was ways to navigate this better. Way better.
I agree. And I think the Yankees, we know that they've had June targeted. We talked to Boone, and he told you, because June is their off-day month, where they get a bunch of naturally built-in off days, that they went to the drawing board and they said, okay, if we're in a tight game, Verlander-Cole, Mets, Subway Series, but we've already won Game 1, are we going to prioritize going into Boston basically with full cavalry in the bullpen? Let's go. We just lost 2 or 3 to these guys. Or are we going to try to dance around it and hope for the win? And that's what they did. And, again, let's check in Sunday night. Because if the bullpen's great and the Yankees beat Boston in Boston, it's kind of worthwhile. But if not, which is always the scary part because nothing's ever promised in baseball, and that's why you should partially hate this theory, is figure it out next time. Because what if they come out and they beat Boston 16-1 in the first game? And it's Ramirez for 60 at the end. Then none of this is necessary. So that's the rhythm of baseball that it feels like this strategy misses out on, and it can, I don't know. I think net. I don't think it's proven. I get that you have to think about bigger picture, but also other things can happen in baseball that lead to that.
I think there's other teams that win the game today, and if that doesn't happen, they navigate the worst case when the worst case arises. And the Yankees play to their priority is set up the best case more than win today. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some teams will just let's just win this game, and tomorrow we'll see how tomorrow goes and what we need. And they're no, let's put us in a better spot tomorrow. It's just regular season versus the Mets. And we've always disagreed with that.
Yeah, because you don't know what the next thing is. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, even...
I will say this was the first game where a starting pitcher, Verlander, had a good outing. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. So the results are really good. But the Yankees made him work for that. They actually had good at-bats.
Yeah.
They averaged 5+. They averaged 5.3 pitches per plate appearance. First inning was a 1-2-3 inning for Verlander, but it was 9 pitches, 7 pitches, 7 pitches. They were in at-bats. They were fighting. The result in the end is all that matters, and Verlander final result was really good. But this team stinks for starters, and this was the first time I was like, all right, they're actually like putting at-bats together. They're not just they're swinging 1-2 and then like getting out. So maybe that leads to better at-bats in the future.
Oh, I think the other thing that we have to talk about, and you're right, I mean, they just, in the fulcrum point? What's that mean? That's like the peak, right? Am I saying words at this point?
I mean, fulcrum I thought was like
definitely a
a
word.
pressure, like when you they always do like a lever with a broom, like your bottom hand is the
believe
fulcrum.
so. Focal point, maybe?
The point on which a lever rests or is supported and on which it pivots. So pivot point.
So the pivot point in that
Yes.
first inning of every at-bat, 3-2.
Yeah.
You know, Bauers hits a long fly ball that, you know, I'm expected at batting average, blah, blah, blah. Like, the Yankees got to that point in what felt like almost every at-bat. Like, you've worked a good at-bat. We're here. We're about to decide it. The problem is the pitcher was Justin Verlander, so you're not really going to get walks. Like, it's not like he's going to spike the 3-2. That never happened. And then, yeah, a couple guys won, but they just, you know, I think there's 2 runners on in the first. They went 1-2-3 in the first, but it felt like great at-bats. Like, it felt like almost every hitter.
They kind of were,
It
yeah.
felt like every
I wasn't
hitter won
upset
that,
with
but,
the bats.
I think the other thing we have to talk about before we move on to the second half of the show, and I was kind of laughing comically, the Yankees pressed every button they could possibly press. They pinch hit for IKF, who was a superhero of all superheroes in this game. And then they pinch hit.
He was 0 for 4.
Right. Stole home, superhero. But I think we've said it before, the Yankees love pressing the button. They press the Glaber button. They press the Willie button. They pinch run with Oswaldo. They emptied the bench, and then they also pressed the Nick Ramirez button when I don't think they had to. So I don't know. The way IKF's been playing, I think there's a solid argument that you could do. You could have let IKF hit because they really needed a single.
Yeah, Glaber is a good pinch hitter.
Glaber's a good pinch hitter, but they wanted to see Willie Calhoun hit, so they pinch hit both of them.
Yeah.
And then McKinney and Calhoun had joined these team at-bats, and it didn't happen.
Did not happen.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Awards?
Matt Crook just not going to get in.
It's weird.
It was how many times he got up and it's
Yeah, this series is not like there was an amazing spot for him. Like, he warmed up while they were down 5-1. That would have been a spot, and then they came back, so I'm okay with it. But
One time.
just
Wait
get him in a game. He's 28.
Wait for Boston. Jim, don't wait to shave your pubic hair.
No, don't wait. It's hot. It's getting hot out.
Manscaped,
It's messy.
if you haven't already heard. We've already heard. We loved Manscaped. They're the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. I have my Manscaped boxers on today.
So do I.
How about BBD?
I had him yesterday.
Sell out. What?
No, it'd be the opposite. We're the sellouts, I think.
Traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary
boxers, though.
beard hedger pro kit. You guys have nice beards.
Thank you.
How about nice?
Trevor Sneaky has a nice beard. Chris Rose when he wants to. Just everyone but me.
Chris Rose has a great beard for what it turns him into, which is ruggedly handsome.
Yeah. Manscaped, yeah, he kind of gets away from being L.A. Chris Rose.
Yes.
He's Ohio Chris Rose then.
But hottest guy in Ohio.
Yes.
Per age.
It's
Yeah, in his bracket.
Ohio's young prince.
Yeah.
He's L.A.'s old fart. Nose and ear hair trimmer. They have that too, which By the way, no one's really into that except our tech guy, Mike. Beard shampoo and conditioner, Manscaped's beard oil. Cap it off with the beard balm. Hey, if you got hairs on your body, Manscaped can take care of it. They've dedicated their company to this, including their Performance Package 4.0 for full body grooming. Get 20% off and free shipping with our code YANKS at manscaped.com. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. There's a link in the description, guys. Been telling you about this.
You get to go first.
Yes.
The first award we give out is the
Pride of the Yankees. Pride of the Yankees. Pride of the Yankees.
You could get it at Yarn if you wanted to. Yarn.clips.
Yarn.io.
Yeah, yarn.io. That is what it is. Yeah.
Know who sends me those all the time? Kenny.
I want a sip of water.
Yeah, done.
They do send a lot of
It looks cold, too, your water. Aquafina? Haven't
It's
had this in a
alright.
while.
I stopped by at the Train Bodega.
Did you grab
got good
Aquafina, or
report.
is that the only one they had?
You want my honest thought process?
Yeah.
So, I get off the train. There's like a little bodega kind of place in there. The sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich is usually pretty tough. There's just like way too much bread, and it's bad bread. So I went omelet today, and it was actually pretty good. It was what I was
Nice.
looking for. So I pick up a Starbucks coffee along the way, too. Drinks on drinks
Yeah.
on drinks. But I was like, I'm heading to the warehouse. It's hot. I'm going to be
Yeah.
sweating a lot. So I was like, I really want a water. But I was like, do I want to pay for a water?
Yeah.
Because there's water at the warehouse. So should I just wait the 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I'm eating, and this is pre-water. So I just looked, and I was like, I don't want to get like a nice drink because I'm already getting like an expensive Starbucks drink.
Yeah. So you went Aquafina.
Aquafina water.
I don't grab Aquafina a lot.
My-
Nor Dasani. I'm not trying to get into the Pepsi
No.
Coke wars. I
No.
try to support water
You try to
companies.
stay clean there.
Yeah.
I was excited that I'm a heathen and I get to do the midweek because I'm excited to give my pride of the Yankees to Anthony Volpe, Jim.
Interesting.
Because something we like to see, and, sometimes we get caught up in these baseball quotes where it's like, hey, stay in the grind and do the same thing every day. And guess what? Those mean shit if what you're doing is wrong. You could use that in anything in life. if you're lifting weights the wrong way, expert in the field. There was a guy in our high school, Steve Murphy.
I know the name.
Nice kid.
Yeah.
Big guy. He used to bench press, and he would always lift one arm straight out, and then he'd bring the other arm.
Yeah.
And all the football coaches were like, can't do that, dude.
Get it done how you get it done.
And he did it the whole way. It was hilarious.
He just never made that adjustment.
Just never did. That's how he bench pressed. Anthony Volpe was opening up his swing in a very novice baseball person way. You could see it. And a little chicken parm day. Austin Wells, future star Yankee. A little dinner date. They look at the tape and they say, "Oh, dude, that's a problem. That's a problem." So Anthony Volpe, Ravitch was saying his name wrong. Saying a lot of names wrong.
Volpe.
Size 7 feet. He is now inverted, like completely. He's been leaking back.
Yeah.
He's now not stand, but he's inverted stance. And he's lifting his foot almost over the plate, like as he gets his load ready, which is a massive difference. And the fact that they said they didn't note that until the other day is wild.
No, it's really bad.
Because it's
really
been in the
bad.
Talkin Yanks lexicon since the third week of the season.
It's really bad. That's why the chicken parm with Austin Wells is great, but it's like, hey, Dylan Lawson, why don't you go have some chicken parms with the boys? Watch some game tape. Because the game opened with Todd Frazier in the pregame show saying what everyone's been saying. He's pulling out. His hip is opening up. Wait, and then he's getting exposed outside. And, I asked Boone, what do you do when a guy's struggling with one thing? Do you just go face those pitches? Because it's clear what he's struggling with. And then the game starts, and O'Neill says, yeah, well, that front foot is abandoning him. It's flying open. So they know it. So where the fuck is everybody at? This is a fun anecdote.
Anecdote.
It's a fun,
Antidote's when you
cool
get like
story.
poisoned.
yeah, that's too.
Right.
There's a little bit there too. It's a fun anecdote. It's a terrible look. No one went and said,
Right, it's middle
hey,
of June.
It's middle of June. No one said, hey, you're struggling. Let's go watch tape from when you were doing well and see if there's any noticeable difference. That didn't happen
Right.
until Austin Wells ordered some chicky parms to disguise it as an intervention. Austin Wells knew damn well the problem. He's like, let's have some chicken parms, and hey, let's watch some old footage. Right. Oh, hey, is that Austin Wells knew it was good. He sneak attacked an intervention on Volpe, did everyone's job for him.
We need a cartoonist so bad.
But great, because you know what, Jake?
Yeah.
His at-bats and his outs looked so much better.
Right.
The results will come, and they started to come, and hopefully for this to be real, they have to come for a stretch, right?
Yes.
But the fact that...
what have we been asking for?
The fact that even he got a confidence boost, right?
What have we been asking for? Hard hit balls the opposite way.
Yes.
And we got that. And it looked right. And guess what? The other part that's insanity about it is that, okay, so Volpe was pulling out early, catch up with heaters or whatever. Sure, okay. Guys do that sometimes. He wasn't catching up to heaters. It's not like by doing that, if you threw Volpe an inside fastball,
out of other
it's out of the park.
The Yankees, just sometimes, and I'm sure this is not 100% true, but sometimes it very much feels like the Yankees' biggest coaching philosophy is instill confidence. Because you hear the story last year of IKF saying he went to them saying he was struggling with his defense and he felt terrible at shortstop and he wanted help, and they were like, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Trev says...
And his demeanor hasn't changed at all.
Trevor Plouffe does Talk Baseball that says, you ask about coaches, do they actually help? He said, all players want is coaches to help.
Right.
And there's that famous story of Judge saying to the Yankees hitting coaches, if you're not going to help me, then get the fuck away from the cage after 2016, because he went to a separate hitting coach who helped him, came back to camp in spring training with a new swing, and the coaches were just saying, no, don't do that. And that's the story. Judge said to them, if you're not going to help me, get away. And you talk to some of these Yankees, and they're like, we just want, if you can help me, help me. I don't care if you've played before, if you haven't played before, anything. But that's crazy bad stories for the coaching staff. And it's a good story for Austin Wells, because I have him as the hero.
So, Anthony Volpe made a change. We saw some early results. It's 2 games. It's baseball. Don't get me wrong. If a week from now, Volpe's 1 for 20, actually that gets even more interesting because you made a change and it hasn't been working. But it already just feels completely different. And pitchers will have to adjust. And guess what? They probably will, because you've heard this from every baseball player. It's a game of adjustment. So now pitchers will say, ooh, this Volpe kid changed up his stance. What's the hole in it now? Can we beat him inside with fastballs? And by the way, early return, he actually looked pretty good on some inside fastballs, because that would be your concern, right? You're so closed off to get your hands in and on the barrel. That would be the significant change. But he looked comfortable. We're obviously, it's been one of the most all eyes on Yankee topic in a long time. The Prince who was promised. And he looked good. He looked more in control at the plate. Remember spring training when that's what we felt like? Like every at bat, it felt like he was in the driver's seat. He felt in the driver's seat against some pretty big names too.
Can I give you a fun stat?
Leone struck him out, and I actually thought it was a gross sequence.
Kyle, who runs Kyle from Talkin Yanks and John LeMahieu social team, had a good stat. I think it was him who sent it, that game 1 of this series was the first game he had 4 plate appearances and did not strike out in X amount of days. I forget what he said.
Yeah.
But I have a different note for you. So slider away. I know fastball ends with a problem, but slider away has been a big problem for Volpe, right?
Yep.
Okay, so in the month of June, we're in June, he has faced 14 sliders away in the same zone, in this one zone. He had yet to put one of them in play. You have and all that he swung at. So they're balls. All that he swung at, 13 for 13. He had swung and missed. One he fouled off. When Trevi tagged up on that ball he hit to Marte and I was out, that was a Verlander slider away. The first one he actually hit with his new stance.
Right.
because he's able to stay in on those. I'm bringing up a video comparison of the two to see if it's pretty noticeable in the difference, and I'll have you judge it.
Okay.
Here, this is against Grove. He was nasty. So it's a 3-2. Oh, my God. So you see, that's his old stance, and I don't know, he's just laid on it or way open.
Look where his plant foot is. His hips are wide open as he's about to swing.
Yeah, before his hands come through the zone, his hips are wide open. Now, this is the one against Verlander. And
look where his plant foot is.
And his
you
plant,
don't see his hips.
So his plant foot now is where he was starting it before. So now when he plants, his foot is even. Before, when he planted he was way open.
Yeah.
It's just such a difference. Thanks, Austin Wells.
You can drive the ball the other way. And by the way, I'm putting a little asterisk because I think if you took videos of Anthony Volpe's swings from the past 3 series, he's been leaking that foot more and more in each series. You guys I've texted that. I've said it on Talkin Yanks that I like the chicken parm aspect of it, but I'm wondering if there's some weird funny business that's the story that leaked out. Because that foot, they've been trying to leak that foot in.
Oh, I don't know.
And maybe that's a Volpe.
Because the side-by-side we keep using is Sunday to Tuesday.
Maybe he genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
But when was that Dodgers series? That was a couple weeks ago, right?
The third. But the one that they showed on ESPN and stuff was the Sunday versus the Red Sox, yeah.
Maybe, and circling back, like I lean a little bit more. It's not a great story for Dylan Lawson, but devil's advocate. I don't know, sometimes just it depends who you're hearing the advice from. So maybe they had been telling him, but sometimes you need to hear it from someone else.
Austin Wells, the truth.
Yeah. Oof. All right. Good pride.
Thank you.
My pride of the Yankees. I actually haven't looked at stats to see if this backs up at all. No, not really. Okay. Shit. But whatever. I'm giving it to Jake Bauers.
Okay, let's do it.
Because that leadoff at bat versus Verlander I like, and then later on he comes up with the RBI. The only like kind of real run the Yankees scored, like an offensively effort run in Game 2. From the leadoff spot, you go to the leadoff spot against Verlander, you can have a quick at bat. He put together 9-pitch at bat, really worked him. He had a hit in both games. That last ball of the game was to the wall in a deep right field. I think maybe Judge gets there. I don't know. But he did have, and he has had some running catches where he's closed the gap, tracked the ball down and caught it. And I'm like, are we seeing him blossom a little bit? Now, we'll see him in a bigger left field soon coming up. But I'm a little more interested in, like, is he getting a little more comfortable out there? Because there was some where I was like, halfway through, the odds of him actually coming down with this aren't 100. And then he did every time.
Yeah, it's I ran through this thought exercise a lot yesterday because, as you know, I'm a Billy McKinney fan and thinking about getting a Billy McKinney jersey. Chad Green, by the way, 57. There's a couple things going on. Jake Bauers, his approach at the plate all year has been consistent and pretty solid. Like I said, I think fastball up and in a little bit. I think there's a little bit of hole there, but guess what? You say that for a lot of players. The at-bats have been good consistently. Even there was times when he kind of got out of play, like when Willie Calhoun was hot in the streets. Like it was kind of Willie was getting more run over Bauers, and it was like, okay, this might be coming to an end. He's gotten to some of the balls that you're like, okay, he made that nice catch in left field the other day. The part that's overlooming is it's left field at Yankee Stadium. So if Jake Bauers can be a 800 OPS major league hitter as a lefty, there's a world where he can be your left fielder, but that's like a really high ask. And I know he's been...
Is right field in Queens... That's pretty big.
It's big.
I think it's a big one.
And he ran some every way. I think back to the right and to the left.
Yeah, that the last one, which the outfield was playing oddly shallow, which I'm assuming is more of a Yankees thing than a Bauers thing. I guess here's the difference that I tried to say the other day, and again, this isn't shots fired at Jake Bauers because I think it's mostly personalities, and one's a naturally trained outfielder.
Classically trained.
Billy McKinney gives that final ball in yesterday's game a lot better effort. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be rude. It's a little bit of Billy McKinney playing with his hair on fire. It's a little bit
played that right field before.
It's a little bit of Billy McKinney being an outfielder. But think about what I just said and what we're going to be, October's going to come and Yankee playoff games. I want to win that. If I get hurt by a Jake Bauers ball in left field, like that's egg on our face, Like I don't think Jake Bauers is going to be able to win us over enough defensively that if something were to happen in a big game or a big moment, that's back at us. And now are we going to be wasting one of our valuable bench spots on a Jake Bauers defensive replacement? And is he going to be able to provide?
Well, I like him as a lefty off the lefty hitter too.
Right. He has done enough as a hitter and it's past the eye test. It hasn't even been like hot and cold. And this is it's been consistent. It's been kind of steady that he's going to give you good at bats, but it's where this team is going. Where can it land? And the other thing that ran through my head, I think he's looked a little better in right field. Reminder, the Yankees have a shorter right field. Aaron Judge's toe, let's see where all of that lands. The manager of the Yankees is now giving quotes that he full-blown doesn't know as well. Remember when the whole thing was, hey, maybe Judge can play left field because he's a good defender and you need a good defender in left? If Judge was healthy and the season was rolling, I think I would be on the mic saying, hey, can we get a little bit of Judge in left and Bauers in right and see how that feels? Because Bauers hasn't felt awful. It hasn't felt disaster class. It feels like a guy that needs more reps and can kind of be serviceable. The problem is Yankee Stadium left field is brutal. That I just don't know. If I get burnt by that,
but who would you
it
keep
hurt.
over him?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Calhoun, Oswaldo. I'm keeping him over those guys
Billy McKinney's played well.
Yeah,
I know it's a small sample.
That's his biggest, but Bauers has put together good at bats continuously.
Right. I'm just saying that
that's good. That's one where I think if they keep going, that is if push comes to shove. I'm not sure where I fall.
There's a world where it works.
But Calhoun and Oswaldo, I think Bauers is way.
Oswaldo hasn't hit all year. He's versatile and can run. That you might want him as an option during the postseason. Willie Calhoun is a DH lefty.
So I just watched all of his plays.
Sure.
And in this series, he struggled more on reads running to his right. Okay. To his left, he was better. Maybe that helps out in left
glove
field.
Side.
No. Well, glove side's tougher.
He struggled more going to his right.
Yeah.
His glove side.
Yeah, his glove side.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's the thing. I know, Billy McKinney and Jake Bauers' MLB track records up until this point aren't flashy. That, in a given playoff game right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, could I guarantee hitting's tough. I don't know what I can guarantee that Jake Bauers gives you that, again, in a very small and almost an unfair sample. I've loved what McKinney's done.
I think they're even on hitting, even small sample and Bauers. I mean, Bauers, I don't know what his stats are at, but he's been hitting pretty well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bauers has earned with the bat, and the power is there, and it's very natural, and it's kind of cool to watch. And again, where we critique the Yankees organization, they clearly have something that they tapped into, Gio Urshela's hidden power. They're tapping into Bauer's hidden power. It's pretty cool. I guess just defensively, Billy McKinney is an outfielder, and he's also playing with gumption and fire and all of it. That in that same play in right field last night, if Billy McKinney's out there, I don't know if he catches it. I think he runs into the wall and goes for it. Where, Bauers at the end of the day made a little bit of a business decision. I'm not holding against him because I think the Yankees are losing that game, But Bauers kind of got to the warning track, saw he didn't fully have a beat on it. He was like, all right. Like,
OAA.
it's over.
OAA.
Billy McKinney, he goes out and
You're a McKinney guy.
he runs into the wall.
OAA is very small sample size. OAA, outs above average for Bauer, has him better in left field so far this season than right field in the same amount of attempts. So that's interesting. And they have him worse towards third base than towards first base.
I guess just
why do they do bases?
Think about this. If Bauers is the play and he continues to hit and he's looked really good with the bat, you're going to defensive replace him in playoff games. They've already kind of showed that.
Yeah, they don't have a guy for that.
So now you're using a bench option on Jake Bauers.
They don't have a single left fielder that's playing all 9 innings.
And, like, think about this. Like, okay, Jake Bauers has a slump, which right now Anthony Rizzo, who's like a legend in Chicago, an all-time baseball player, he's in a bad slump. What if what if Bauers goes into the playoffs in like a 1-for-25 slump? So now Jake Bauers is our left fielder, and he's got to be defensive replaced, and he's in a slump. Like,
well, the only thing the context is they don't have a left fielder.
Right, but there's still a trade deadline. There's still
yeah, they can get someone on the deadline, but anyone that's within the organization right now, they don't have a single left fielder that's not getting pinch hit for or changed out. They don't have a 9-inning.
McKinney's his only competition right now,
and they'd pinch hit IKF for him if a lefty pitcher's on the bump later on in a heartbeat.
Right, but that's a hitting matchup. And
that's what I'm saying.
That's what we're saying.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's the point I'm making.
Right, but
so you agree?
But if it's not a pitching matchup, the defense can stay.
Sure,
so
but if they start IKF and a lefty
because I think they pinch hit for Bauers too.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right, so one can play defense. McKinney.
Yes, but can he hit like Bauers? I don't know.
Let's find out.
But the biggest problem is they don't have a 9-inning left fielder.
I think what you're missing is I'm still on we need a different solution.
No, I'm totally agreeing. I just don't think there's any out there.
I think there will be.
Where are we in the show? Motherfucker? Severino's. Oh, you go first.
I go first.
You can give it to Sevy if you want.
Because I'm a heathen. No, you want me to because I've given him 2 back-to-back, but I will not. And I'll make it easy for you.
Last 14 games for Bauer, 931 OPS.
He's been great. He's been very consistent. It can work, but slumping playoff bad defense Bauer would be.
He did have like an 11-game really bad run. He first 11 were good, next 10 were terrible. He's been on a good run. The 14 since.
I feel like they had some inconsistent playing time with him when they're figuring this whole thing out.
Yeah. They're figuring stuff out.
I will go with. Has Donaldson got an MFer?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's an 0 for 4. It's nothing too dramatic.
Looks like he's gotten 0 on the year.
I'll do it quick.
Only played in a couple series.
Because I just got
doesn't play every day.
I just got texted his stats, and he was doing the homers and he was batting second and third, and the OPS was in the 8s. Flash forward a little bit. As of today, his OPS is down to 668, and his batting average is 130. So there's still like a feeling and an aura of Josh Donaldson that is blinding the organization a little bit. That I don't know, man. I hope you're that dude, and you still act like it, but
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go Severino.
Okay.
He fucked game 2. Why are all those pitchers unavailable? Because Sevy can't get out of the 5th inning.
Yeah.
And why can't Sevy get out of the 5th inning? Because he might be the most stubborn pitcher we've ever had on the Yankees.
For sure.
Do you not want to know what Sevy did?
What's Sevy did?
What's been the cause of his problems of late? Which pitch would you say?
Fastball.
Oh, fastball. So first time through versus the Mets in this game, he went 47% fastball. Next time through, he went 66% fastball. He upped his fastball usage from the last game, from the game before. This is the most fastballs he's thrown in a single game all season. They had a .417 batting average against the fastball and a .667 slugging against the fastball. Boone comes out and says, how you feel? He says, like, give me the last batter. Give me the last batter. Boone says, one batter.
Yeah.
Better fucking get him. Sevy says, yeah. Nope. Doesn't get him. Bleep. Change up, hit. Hey, man, make a change. Clark's actually making changes, getting better. Your fastball isn't your fastball right now.
Yeah, I think the Yankees again, June mentality. I think they told him to throw the fastball more because you got to get that back, Sev.
He was up. Velo was up on all pitches. Yeah. He cut out the cutter. So he raised the cutter in the last 2 games before this, and maybe he was like, that's the problem. It's making the fastball look better. So he cut that down. Now the Mets don't hit the fastball that well, but the Mets don't hit any pitch that well. Right. Alonso crushes sliders this year, so that might be skewing some of their charts, but Alonso wasn't in the lineup. Right. Mark Canha crushes fastballs this year, but he's not in the lineup. Nimmo is doing well against all pitches, but yeah, man, that's just a disappointing.
Canha was in the lineup.
Oh, he was for that game? Didn't notice him.
Damn.
My bad.
It's okay.
I think he was 9-hole.
Okay. It's a bummer.
Outpitch Scherzer, bro.
Yeah, how about it? First pitch or second pitch home run to Nimmo. Lead right back. Yeah. I was impressed that he got that shutdown inning after the Yanks took the lead. Yeah. They threw him back out there, and he got Alvarez, McNeil, Lindor. But, yeah, bizarre, man. Just really bizarre, stubborn pitching.
Yeah. Yeah, putting runs up in 4 of the first 5 innings. Would have liked a Glaber ball. I do think the Yankees were viewing this as like...
Would have liked that as well.
Throw that fastball more, kid. Because, hey, again, we do the hope you look back in a couple weeks and things have changed. The fact he threw 104 pitches is kind of good. And, I don't know. The fastball velo was there, so hopefully
there's just nothing on it. It's just fast.
Right, but hopefully you get that back, and then you start getting a little
I wonder
more
if you could look at the horizontal break on his fastball to see if it's ever changed. Like if I go back to 2017, if there's like, a big graph on that. Not really. Well, it's down, so it's horizontal. That's the horizon. So that would be like arm side run, right? So it's actually moving more, which maybe means it's more than usual a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's easy to hit.
Yeah, well, we'll see the next part of Sevy season.
All right, regular old awards.
Regular old awards are brought to you by The Warehouse Games. We're at The Warehouse right now recording. The Warehouse is blown up. If you were part of it, you're lucky. If you haven't, you're a fool and your friends are laughing at you. Go watch our Warehouse Games content. Blitzball Battle 3 just wrapped up, and we have a ton more coming out very soon.
One of the best trick plays in Warehouse history
ever.
Premieres tonight.
Tonight.
Jake and I are on commentary, so it's pretty fun. What's your first award?
So if you like hearing us talk, my first award?
Your first award. And I'm doing Billy Joel themed award. Someone in Tommy, I think. Tom Ace. Was it Tom Ace? No, it wasn't.
Was not Tom Ace, but I believe the person was named Tom.
I'm giving out the Knives Out award.
Knives Out.
Knives Out.
First movie?
Yeah, the first one. Second one is Glass Onion.
Yeah. Knives Out. Okay. Knives Out goes to... Knives Out goes to... IKF?
Yes, Jim.
Mark.
All right. First one in a while.
No.
Knives Out
Got one last up.
Jim, I kind of heard about the movie. A couple people were like, "Oh, Knives Out, interesting film," and I was like, "Okay, sure." Like what was it, a murder mystery? Not my normal genre.
Ryan Johnson's a fan.
Not what I normally tune into. Watched it, fantastic. Came in, no expectations. You know, I'm an expectations guy. That can change how you look at things. Tropic Thunder, I thought was going to be my favorite movie ever. Funny movie, some good laughs in there. Not my favorite movie ever. I do want to rewatch it soon.
I think if you rewatch it, it's funnier.
Yes. No, like I had rewatched it, and I was like, oh, this is better. But I went to it in theaters, and I was like...
You were expecting a slapstick comedy, and it's an action. There's so much action, and you're like, whoa, this is an action movie?
I was expecting to, like, take the movie theater chair with me and, like, put it in my basement and be like, I saw Tropic Thunder in this chair.
They did pump it up like it was going to be that.
I mean, it was all, like, the big names in comedy at the time, blah, blah. Anyways, you know, if I had gone into Knives Out with the expectation I was going to watch this, like, an all-time iconic movie, I would have been like, oh, Knives Out is good. IKF still has a negative WAR on the season. Some people are into that, especially if you're an IKF stan. It's so funny that the expectation needle has moved. His stats overall haven't. Are kind of similar to IKF, the baseball player that we've seen, although that power and confidence is up now. Stealing home, I mean, as electric as baseball can get, right? Like, it shocks you even because you don't see it in the picture. So you hear the announcer turn up and you're like, what? Like, it's really happening? It's IKF after he just stole second, got to third on the throw. The expectations for Yankee fans have moved so much with our heartthrob Prince. But it's awesome. It's awesome. And the way he's literally walking taller. Like, it's, I'm happy for him. Cause like you said, weird spot last year. You're going to be a 1-year shortstop for the Yankees, kid. Go get it. I need help. Nope. I'm struggling with my swing. Nope. And yeah, they're literally like openly talking about it. They're like, yeah, he's swinging a lot bigger now. He feels so much better up there. He's enjoying his role. And yeah, even like what's one of his strengths, like one of his MLB strong abilities is his base running. And we've seen him be more aggressive and better there, which new rules and that kind of stuff helps. But delicious IKF. New IKF shirt in the store. How about it?
The steal of home. I love that it came on the first pitch after getting the third because he just went first to second and then to third on the overthrow. Could be a little out of breath.
Could be.
Escobar on the Mets, not holding him on, not looking at. Like, the Mets went completely brain dead.
Yeah.
He was halfway down, and no one said anything. Pitcher's out of the windup, which actually helps him see IKF better, but it is a longer delivery. And I don't know what Mets were doing. Like, for a buck run team, that's scary.
Yeah. I think that's been a lot of the MO of the Mets this year, which is interesting with Buck and a like veteran laden team. Mark Carrig, who our guy with the Athletic, I think Buck must have been like kind of tough on him once or something because every time the Mets make an mental error, he lets out like a like a ripper of a tweet. I'm like, whoa. So I saw that, but yeah, I don't know. IKF's like a different human from last year.
Yeah.
It looks like one of those like a depression medicine commercial. If you did like IKF last year versus IKF this year. Like, look, and now look, he's happy. He's playing confidently. Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. Benoit Blanc.
Yeah, okay. So I was looking back at awards we've given out in the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of like the same guys, but there's not that many guys going on right now, and I don't know, so I might be having same conversations that we've been having, blah, 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 blah. No one gives a shit about any of this. I will give out
Yes.
the
Famously.
You May Be Right award.
You may be right. I may be crazy.
Just might be the lunatic.
I'm looking for
Turn out the lights.
Rizzo.
Yeah. I mean,
Marketing.
and I thought you would get that one because he's the biggest lunatic on the team. And what makes him a lunatic? Well, guy likes getting hit by the ball.
Yeah.
Guy's been in a bit of a slump, gets his first hit in a long time in game 1. Nice hit, too. Other way. Game 2, hit by the pitch.
Yeah.
Game 1, Jake, also hit by a pitch. So 2 hit by pitches for Rizzo. Rizzo says he's not feeling right unless he's getting hit by pitches.
Yeah.
Now, he hadn't been hit by a pitch since May 17th. That's a long stretch.
Wow.
He needed to get pegged. Lunatic mode. So, Rizzo's been struggling. He got the famous Mad Gab, Nick or Hart, Neck or Hart award. You may be right. It's more like I'm hoping you're right, that your crazy lunatic ass is about to get hot because you got hit by pitches.
I hope so. Again, I don't know where the line between fan and scouting really ends, but during his slump, there's been a lot of just misses. And again, you can spin that either way, right? Like if he gets hot, I'll be like, yeah, I thought he was just kind of under a few balls. He also got banged up. Or it's one of those things like, if you have a couple okay swings and you're not getting results, that's where really ugly slumps can happen because you're getting a good swing, but you're having bad results. It felt, a couple fly balls. It feels like he's just been under and he's just missed. And yeah, I was pretty juiced up when I saw the hit by pitch.
Since his last hit by pitch, so from that May 17th hit by pitch until the neck game, the Tatis neck injury game, he had a 308 batting average, 487 slugging. So he got hot last hit by pitch, and then it got negated by getting hit by a hip. So he didn't like getting hit by hips.
Yeah.
Likes getting hit by pitches.
He had a fly ball to left that I think in Fenway would be a double, so I'm hoping to see a couple of those coming up.
I like that.
Look out for that. Hopefully some Red Sox pitching can help too. And the other, I don't know if he's going to stumble into a award, but yeah, Rizzo and Stanton, right? Like, as I sit here and talk about a 500 month.
I was thinking about giving the Stanton award.
Those are the two guys that can win games.
Boom, 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 boom. Mr. Stanton,
Yes.
give me an award.
Boom, 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 boom.
What's your next award?
My next award, and the final award is the Death Lineup Award.
Death lineup.
Yeah.
Death lineup. Billy McKinney, Billy the Kid.
I can't just give out Billy McKinney awards all the time.
I mean, feels like Feels like you need him in your death lineup.
Because I could. No, because we're not sure. We just did a whole, we did 15 minutes on Bauers and McKinney. Welcome to Talkin' Yanks. That we're not sure what our death lineup is. Right now, if we're trying to win a game, which we know we talked about isn't necessarily the everyday priority, Kyle Higashioka, Jim.
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors death lineup. They rolled this out a couple years ago. Draymond at center, shooters. We're putting up offense in big numbers. Higgy's last 10 games?
I was going to pull this up because when you said Stanton, I was like, let's find Higgy was my next. I didn't get there.
440 batting average, 462 on base, a 1 OPS. And that's 25 at-bats or so. So, that is what it is. It's still a tight sample size, but Higgy's felt like kind of locked in and in control at the plate.
Do his last 9 games, man. He didn't. Yesterday counts. He didn't even get an at-bat. It's a game.
Let's 9 games. 7 starts.
1 dot.
Either way, with that game or not. That's the trick part.
Yeah, but it's smaller.
Longer's better. That's what I've been told.
I guess so. You want him starting?
No, I just think as we've been hunting for offense all year, it feels like Higgy's in a really good place at the plate that, I don't know. You know, our catchers are our catchers. Love Trevino tagging up yesterday. Marte's got a really good arm out there. That was fun. But Higgy's been hot and like in control of his at bats. Like we've seen Higgy heaters before, and it feels like he, jumps a first pitch heater, and you're like, yeah, Higgy's looking for that pitch. He's felt like in control of at bats.
Well, I gave the Men at Work award last episode because the catchers had a great combined line. Yeah. They go 3 for 7 in these 2 games.
Why not?
Trevi with 1, Higgy with 2.
Yep.
So
you can go a little further back with Higgy too. There was a bad few games in there. Don't know how many of those are late subs, but since start of May, 791 OPS. Took out the first game he played in May. So
it's good from the catching position.
Yeah,
good May for what the Yankees are asking their catchers to do in particular.
Some walks in there too, Jim. Veteran Higgy.
Okay. Now, I've pivoted awards, obviously, because I had Stanton, then Higgy lined up.
Higgy.
And it's a Billy Joel theme.
Right.
So,
always has been.
So there's a bit of a stall tactic going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
let's see. You liked seeing Canely. Everyone likes seeing
She's always a
Canely
woman.
back.
She's always a woman. You're not going to get this. If you get it, I would just guess a player you think I want to talk about because your skill set isn't picked up.
That's what I do every time.
You can't even begin to put the pieces together here.
I will go with, it's going to one player.
Who do you think I am?
DJ LeMahieu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
2 for
call.
2. Perfect
Yeah.
game.
Well, you had a lot.
It's a
You had 7 guys ruled out that I wasn't going to talk about.
It's a perfect game.
She can kill with a smile. She can wound with her eyes. You said Higgy's been walking around. DJ has not. Yeah. DJ is not walking at all. He is starting to hit in the very small sample of the last 5 games. He's got 5 hits. I'll take that. Yeah. He hasn't. He's got 1 walk. Actually, let's say he's got 2 walks in his last 76 plate appearances.
No bueno.
That's really not good.
Yeah.
So if the hits are coming back, and that's considered the smile, right? That's the smile. She can kill with a smile, but she can wound with her eyes. Well, then we need the walks.
Yeah.
To get the wounding done. Don't want to just be a killer. You want to wound your opponent. First, I guess. That's an interesting lyric.
Trying to think how to phrase
Once you're dead, you're dead. Who cares about being wounded?
I'd like a couple walks.
So her eyes can hurt you, but her smile will kill you. Yeah.
I guess DJ,
I get it. It makes sense. What I'm said made sense.
I think he could.
What an award.
If he dressed up as a woman, I think he'd sneaky be a lot of guys' fantasies that they didn't want to kind of talk about.
Well, everyone's out on Wandy as a woman. We've seen the pics.
Yes.
People don't like it.
That's no one's fantasy.
Marinaccio would be a little intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a similar ilk to DJ. But DJ's like so big. Like, this is
an interesting combo.
He's 6'6" in heels. Like, it's like, whoa, you are.
Remember when there was the app, the Face app, and they did like female versions of everyone? Didn't we get a female DJ?
Yeah. It was gentle. And it felt nice.
Didn't Joe say that female Sevy got him going?
When you say that, you're asking it. Did Joe say that?
Does ring a bell.
Yeah. How would I find those old pictures on Twitter?
I feel like one of the kids definitely.
Yankees
went
as
ham
women.
on those. Let's see. Let's get some peek.
Was that Face app?
There was
probably was
that DJ stretch that we referenced numerous times from last year, where he was setting the tone in front of Judge. I just did the Jakey butter knife. I always forget where it starts and ends, but 57 games, 311 batting average, a 432 on base. And the thing that's crazy impressive, and we talk about this on Talking Baseball with Trevor a lot, talk to anyone in the game, if you're walking more than you strike out, that blows like a lot of baseball players away. They're like, dude, you don't know how hard that is. DJ, in that 2-month stretch, a little over 2 months, 45 walks and 30 strikeouts. So that's where, and I'm doing this speech about, veteran DJ, and you see a lot of pitches, and your eye gets better as you play, and the hit's still there. That's the most alarming thing. So I want some walks.
I want some walks. You gave DJ a lot of awards last year about walking too much and then wanting more walks, and you were always eyeing his walks.
Because I wanted him to. At first, he was only walking, and I wanted him to hit because he's DJ
only
LeMahieu.
only wounding, not killing. Yeah. I texted Joe's. I said, do you have the picture of Savvy face tap to a woman saved in your phone?
Yeah.
We'll see if he has it. Probably does. Maybe a wallet printout, if I remember correctly. That's the episode, right? We're done?
That's it.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
It's just something worth noting. Jimmy, looks like you ran back your script from the Mad Gab Awards when Rizzo and DJ in that order again today.
I know. That's what I was saying. I keep giving to the same people.
Yeah.
There's not – who else is there to talk about?
We talked about a lot on the way.
No, we needed a DJ convo. You hit your Bauers defense stuff in the Pride.
Yeah. You could have gone.
I thought it was a weak Clay could have gotten it. It's tough for relievers.
Yeah, 1 game reliever.
2-game set.
In a 2-game set. McKinney didn't get one. I thought Jake was going to give him one.
Clay.
We kind of talked about him a lot. Yeah. So I was going to go Stanton, but Jake kind of already sneezed at that one. So that's the show.
I didn't sneeze this whole episode.
Sneezed at your butt once.
I know.
Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Oh, Yankees.
I didn't sneeze on that. I was told I could not. I had an opportunity.
I mean,
when I brought it up.
We didn't question any capabilities.